How to start a business with no money. Welcome back. You're watching ACIERO in Amsterdam. Today I'm back again with a question which I always come across on internet, in my comment sections, on events, everywhere. People say they want to start businesses, but the most excuse they always give is they don't have money to start a business. I don't know why there is a perception of why people think that you need lots and lots of money to start a business. I'm here to tell you that that's not true. You don't need money to start a business. You can start your own business today without money in just 5 days. So, first thing you need to do is first come up with an idea of a business you want to start. Before you start that business, first do some keyword research. See if there is demand for that product or service you want to put on the market. Yeah, before you start. So when you do the keyword research or see how if there is a high volume search, make sure that you know exactly what service and be specific. So once you've done your research and you know there is a high demand for this service or this product or whatever you want to offer, then what you need to do is continue to the next step. So tell your network, your friends, family, people you know, your network on LinkedIn, your network on Instagram, and all the other people. Let them know about your product or service you want to offer. Tell them what it does, what it solves, what problem it solves, or what it adds, or what the value it gives. Let them know. Make awareness for that service or product. And when you've made awareness for a service and product, ask your network to buy that product or service. So if you sold at least 20 units before production, you're just like, okay, pre-order now. So if they pre-order 20 units, then there is demand for that product. Then you can go and manufacture that product and then sell that product. Or if you're doing a digital course, you can go and start filming that course, editing it, and then put it on the market, because then there is demand. You already sold 20 units, so these 20 units already be sold, so then it will come. So the other thing I would like to also emphasize on what most people say to me is they've never gone to business school. I understand most of you have never been to business school. I've been to business school, but let me tell you, what you learn in business school is not the same in practice. When you start a business, in practice, things work out differently. You'll be surprised what you learn in business school that's not applicable in real life. It's applicable in theory, but in practice, it works differently. So what you need to know is you don't have to have gone to business school to start a business. Business school is just to give you some guidelines. At least I got some guidelines. I have a background in business, but of course, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be so successful in business. And it's like a perception people give. You have to have lots of money. You have to have gone to business school. Yeah, those two things are not true, because even people with money and people who have gone to business school, the chances of them failing are also high. Like your chances of failing are high. So you have to understand that the skills you need to run a successful business or start a successful business are not just having lots of money or capital or investment and business school. You also have to have good character. You have to stay motivated. You have to have a mindset of someone who wants to achieve something, someone who wants to work towards a goal of achieving something. You have to be persistent and optimistic, and you also have to have an entrepreneur mind. So imagine you set up a product, yeah, and then it doesn't sell. What do? You go home and cry and then you never try again? No, that's not how it works. Things fail every time in business. You come up with a product, you think it will be successful, it flops, you don't sell. What do? You're not going to eat your tears. You have to move on. You have to strategize very, very quickly. Like when this crisis hit, we are in a crisis right now when filming this in quarantine, but we have a crisis now. And I used to design silk scarves. I used to make these YouTube videos for you guys. Of course, the YouTube videos still go on, but the silk scarves, people are not going out, people are not buying the silk scarves, although I would want them to buy the silk scarves. But I design products in silk, and I had already arranged to launch a new design this last 3 months. But I had to cancel that launch because I knew the silk scarves will not sell. So I changed my strategy to designing the silk masks. Yeah, so I designed the silk mask so that it can replace the product which was already being, in product, going to be launched. So I can launch it next time, not now, but now the silk masks masks are in demand, so I'm designing the mask so I can put that on the market and sell that now, instead of the scarf, which is not going to sell. So you have to be strategic, and you also have to be fast. So you don't just sit there and say, oh, I cannot do this, so I'm going to sit back. You have to keep moving. And if you have a service, right now we're in quarantine, and you're like, yeah, my clients are not hiring, or my clients are not running ads because they're scared they don't have clients, and they're scared their business is going to go down. Yeah, same applies to me. I have a digital agency. Some of my clients are already bankrupt, and they're saying, yeah, they're not going to run ads. But what can you do to help those clients? What can you do in this meantime to help those clients without them spending money, without them not going into worrying and not feeling like, yeah, the only way they have to contact you is by them having to offer you some money to do something for them? No, make informative videos for them. Teach them something for free. Put on your camera, teach them how they can do their ads without paying you. Teach them how to read their analytics so that they can understand what you're doing for them. Give them some free information, so that when they come back, and when the economy recovers, so that when they come back, they remember, like, oh, when we were in a crisis, she or he was doing this and doing that, and she told me this. And so when you add value to clients, they also see that there is something valuable they can get from you, so they always consider you, because you don't, some of you are waiting for someone to give you something without you not giving anything, in return. First give, and then that's how you can start a business. So when I started my digital agency, I didn't have any money. Yeah, I didn't have any money to invest in. I had already some businesses. I already invested all my money in them, and they were not really working well. But I told people I knew, acquaintances, I said, yeah, I have this digital agency I'm starting, and I hadn't even built a website. And this is how you start a business without money. So I told the people I know, who I knew would be interested in the service I had to offer. I told them what I do. I told them how I can help them. And they were like, okay. I got my first client. I signed. I was like, okay, I have 5 practices. Can you come help me? I want to run Google Ads for my company. Yeah, I signed a contract with him, and then I started. And when you get your first client, that's how you can scale. The money is just to scale your business, but you can start a business with no money. And if you don't find the first clients, then there is no need for you to scale the business. So then you have to move on and strategize. Like I told you before, you don't stay still thinking. And of course, don't get depressed when things don't work out, because people always fail. We all learn from our mistakes. We all learn from our failures. And don't drown and start, sticking on one small thing. If you want to be an entrepreneur and someone who is good at business, don't dwell on one thing. If one product doesn't work, move on. Don't dwell, because if you keep on dwelling on one small thing, you're going to go crazy. Because if clients don't like it, the market decides. You're not the market. You may be passionate about your product, you may be passionate about your service, you may think you're solving problems, you may think you have so much to offer, but the market decides. If the market doesn't say yes, then there's nothing you can do. You can just move on, and that's all you can do. We used to say business, money. Yeah, and most of you used to say, oh, now when I start a business, I need business cards. Yeah, I have business cards, but they have been here for the last 2 years. I don't give these out. It's not that I don't give them out. The opportunity of me giving them out is actually, I don't know. I always walk around with my phone, and when people ask me for my contact details, it's easier for you to give someone your social media username, and they can follow you on social media, and that's a way of also that you can keep on communicating to them, than printing these things that cost money and you give it to someone, they will throw it away, or they'll forget it in their handbag if they didn't throw it away by the time they reached home. So these things are useless, they cost money. So you don't need money. Before you guys say, yeah, you need a business card before you need this, you need that. If people find you, yeah, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on LinkedIn, you'll find me. I'm all there. So if you want to connect with me and you want the service I provide, go to my LinkedIn and send me an email. So we don't need those things that need money anymore. So we just need our phones and our Wi-Fi, and then we are in business. So for most of you who are worried that you cannot start a business with no money, no, you're wrong. You need character, perseverance. You need to be optimistic. You need to be a go-getter, and you need to be motivated. If you're wondering what kind of businesses you can start with no money and just with your phone without investing in computers and all that kind of thing, click over here. You'll find a video on what kind of businesses you can start with just your phone and make lots of money if you really do it right and scale it. Yeah, and for most of you who are new here, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing, like this video, comment, because it helps me grow my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for the support. I love you lots, and continue watching videos on this channel in 1, 2, 3, and see you tomorrow. Bye.